Hello and welcome to NRHC 2021 Virtual Conference Idea Exchange. Next slide, please. I'm Linda Kobylarz, Director of the Honors Program at Post University. We'll be talking today about rethinking honors contracts, adding the student's voice, connecting soft skills to academics. I am joined today by two of my wonderful students, Brooke Dominello and Rebekah Johnston. Brooke, would you tell us a little bit about yourself, please?
Hi, my name is Brooke Dominello. I'm a senior here at Post University. I double major in biology and equine studies with a minor in chemistry. Following graduation, I will be attending Mississippi State University College of Veterinary Medicine, and I'll hand it over to Rebekah.
Hi everyone, my name is Rebekah Johnston. I am a senior at Post University, majoring in equine studies and double minoring in psychology and art. And what I hope to do with this after graduation is go into equine therapy to become an equine therapist or an equine psychologist. Back to Linda now.
All right, so let's get started with what this is all about. Next slide, please. At Post University, all of our students are required to take a course in their junior or senior year called the Professional Success Seminar. In that course, they are introduced to soft skills, which are global skills used in every single job that you and I and our students will ever have. So the idea occurred to me that as students are doing honors contracts, they are in fact using some soft skills in those contracts. And I wanted to help them become more aware of that, particularly which of the soft skills they were using, and to make that connection with the fact that it's not only the academic skill that they are developing, but a whole nother set of skills. So the soft skills include problem solving, leadership, decision-making, communication, time management, creativity, and several more. I'd like to invite Rebekah now to talk to us a bit about her contract and what soft skills she used. Rebekah.
Thank you, Linda. For my first contract that I will be talking to you about is related to my art class in painting. What I did for this contract was I researched different artists and researched their different styles of techniques that they used in their paintings, and then I incorporated that into my own original piece. So looking at the pitch on this PowerPoint, the picture that I have displayed is one of my original paintings that I have that I used from my research based off of Edvard Munch's paintings, and I used it in my own style of painting. So for example, what I did was I used acrylic paints, and some of it I watered down the acrylic paints to make a water-based color to the paint. And I also used a variety of different colors to make it more abstract and realistic. And I incorporate that into what you see on the screen. And the soft skills that I used were creativity and innovation. Now I'm going to pass this off to Brooke to talk about her first contract that she's going to discuss with you.
During my sophomore year, I did an honors contract in general chemistry too. For this contract, I completed a 10-page research paper on the effects of organic and inorganic compounds on equid tissues. To complete this contract, I researched various drugs and evaluated their molecular composition. Understanding critical thinking, I was able to view the molecular structure of the drugs and put it against the purpose of the medication to further understand how its composition and structures affect tissues in the equid body. The result of this contract gave me a greater understanding of the use of drugs in veterinary medicine. This contract helped me improve my time management skills as it required me to spend weeks analyzing documents to complete the paper. I'm going to hand it back to Rebekah.
Thank you, Brooke. For my next contract that I will be talking to you about is equine locomotion. And for this contract, what I did was I evaluated a horse's motion and determined what was good, the bad, and the very ugly. And based on their motion, I created a dressage routine to help exercise them so that they have improved their balance overall and fluidity. So one example that I did for one of the horses that I did was he had issues with his hind legs, and I created a routine to help improve his hind legs and also have overall balance because he favored one leg over the other. And so skills that I used for this contract was problem solving and decision making. Now I'm going to pass this over back to Brooke to talk about her last contract.
I was also in the equine locomotion course with Rebekah. I took a little bit of a different approach with this course. For this contract, I was also required to evaluate multiple horses and how their static conformation may affect their dynamic movement. After my analysis was complete, I had to develop a choreography plan for the individual subject to improve certain parts of its locomotion. For my contract, I did make it a little bit personal. As you can see on the screen is my horse Sephora. At the time of the course, she was suffering from a right hind lameness. Using this course, I made several plans to better understand why she was having a lameness in the right hind. I was able to solve the problem and eventually get the veterinarian out due to it being a ligament issue. I'm going to pass this back to Linda.
Thank you, Brooke, and thank you, Rebekah. Let's talk now a little bit about the power of reflection. And so, as I mentioned earlier, the students take the Professional Success Seminar, and along with being introduced to the soft skills, they're also introduced to a technique called STAR. And it is a way to help answer behavioral questions in an interview, to showcase their skills and to tell their story in a very clear and powerful way. Here's how it works. You start off with describing the situation, and then what tasks need to be accomplished, what actions do you take to accomplish those tasks, and finally, what are the results? So I'm going to ask Rebekah and Brooke to take us through an example. We'll start with Rebekah, please. And she was interviewed for the position that she has now, part-time job. And so tell us how you used the STAR technique.
Thank you, Linda. How I used the STAR technique was during my interview, I was asked a question that related to if you're in a difficult situation, what would you do? So for my situation, I was given the situation of if a horse injured himself. So I'm going to make an example of a horse stepped on a nail. That's my situation. So my task would then be to contact the veterinarian and my boss. And then also my next action would be to get the horse into a safe location where I can keep an eye on them until the vet arrives. And then my results would be that I would have the vet check the horse to make sure that everything is all right. And then they able to remove the nail, and then the horse will be fine and be able to get up and walking again.
Thank you, Rebekah. And Brooke, would you tell us how you used the STAR approach in your grad school interviews?
I sure can. Over the winter, I did interview at several vet schools, and a commonality I found in my interviews is a lot of them had several questions pertaining to the use of soft skills and how I integrated that in certain situations. To answer these questions, I did look back on previous contracts I've done over my 4 years at Post. I was able to use these examples to further explain how soft skills are important and different ways to navigate them in varying situations. I'll pass it back to you, Linda.
Thank you, Brooke. And so as we look at the idea of really connecting the soft skills through reflection to what we actually did in the contract, I hope you can see how this helps students capture their own learning, to own the process, to make important connections, and most importantly, to personalize it. They also are developing new skills in being able to use the STAR approach that will come in handy, not only when they are interviewing for a job, but I can tell you from my own experience, while you are working and needing to convey different information to colleagues about particular situations, it's a very nice habit of mind to have and be able to use in expressing how you take action and move to results in problem solving. And so we now move to our next slide, please. And that is just our references. And on to the last slide. On behalf of Brooke and Rebekah and myself, we all invite you to imagine more, to think about how you can optimize honors contracts and really blend in some of those soft skills and increase your awareness of how you're using those skills really on a day-to-day basis. We also hope that you will practice the STAR approach the next time you're in an interview situation. So thank you so much for coming to our idea exchange, and please feel free to connect with us. We'd love to share more ideas with you.